Hey spooks, welcome to Halloween Horror Stories with me, Emily Jane FX. This is a Corpse Bride tutorial, and also I'm going to talk about the real life Corpse Bride. Carl Tanzler was a radiology technologist in Key West, Florida in the 1930s. This is where he met Elena Milagro de Hoyos, a very beautiful Cuban-American lady who he was treating as she had tuberculosis. This is when he developed an obsession with her. Tanzler was born in Dresden in Germany in 1877. As a child, he had visions of the dead. In one, the spirit of one of his ancestors showed him a vision of his future true love. She was a dark-haired beauty who had the face of Elena, who he would later meet and recognise. In 1930, she got diagnosed with TB and had her first examination and meeting with Carl Tanzler. He immediately recognised her as the woman from his dreams. Elena had not had an easy life. She'd married a man who had left her after she'd had a miscarriage, and then she was diagnosed with the TB. TB actually killed nearly all of her immediate family as well. Tanzler tried his best to help cure Elena. He showered her with gifts and told her he loved her, but there's no evidence to say that she loved him back, as he was 30 years older than her. Unfortunately, Elena died, and she was only 22 years old. Carl Tanzler arranged to pay for her funeral, and he even paid to build an above-ground mausoleum, which he visited every night after she died. He said that her spirit would come and visit him and that he would sing to her, and he said that she would ask him to take her to his home, which he did. On one evening in 1933, he crept through the cemetery and removed her body from her grave and took it back to his house. He replaced her eyes with glass eyes, and he made a wig out of hair that he got from her mother, and as her flesh started to decompose, he replaced it with silk cloth and plaster of Paris. He filled her body with rags so that it kept its shape, and he dressed her in stockings and jewellery, and he kept her in his bed. He used perfume and disinfectant to stop the smell of the body decomposing over the years. In 1940, which was 7 years after he took the body from the grave, Elena's sister heard rumours about him being with the body. After being caught dancing with her body in front of an open window, he was arrested and detained. The case was later dropped without charges due to the statute of limitations. Elena's body was examined, and then they put it on display in a funeral home, and it was viewed by up to 7,000 people. You have to look on the internet and find a picture of this. You may never sleep the same again. They eventually buried her again, and they buried her in an unmarked grave so that Tanzler couldn't find her again and tamper with the body. This story was an absolute sensation and got so much press attention But the weird thing is that people actually sympathised with him and saw him as an eccentric romantic. Tanzler used a death mask, which is a cast of someone who's passed away's face, and made a life-size effigy of Elena, and he lived with it until 1952, when he died at the age of 75 years old. There were rumours that he'd managed to switch the bodies and that he'd actually died with the real body of Elena. And that is the story of Karl Tanzler and the real corpse bride. I don't know about you, but I feel sick. Okay guys, this is the finished makeup look, and this is Emily from The Corpse Bride, which is a Tim Burton film, and this is much less creepy than the real Corpse Bride story. Thanks for watching, goodbye.